All right. Hey, Nevada Realtors, Chris Bishop here, your longtime no-see host that wasn't here the last two episodes. And so we had Keith Lynam do his own episode. We had Tom Blanchard do his own episode, and the show's still here. So welcome to another episode of It's Not Soup Yet.
Yeah, well, welcome. Thank you. Hey, the great thing is we've had the big switch.
The big switch.
Big switch.
It's not the first time he's used that.
Wow, careful.
The bills have gone out of committee that have made it out of committee. The ones that haven't died, they had to go to the floor yesterday and be voted on the floor to be able to move to the other house.
Sure.
Right. So they've switched from Assembly to Senate and Senate to the Assembly, and some bills didn't make it.
I've heard that could happen.
What a shame.
Yeah.
What a shame.
A lot of those. I got to do a quick correction. I misspoke last week. I thought our self-funding bill was a finance bill, so it wasn't subject, but apparently it's not. And so we can thank
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Tens of thousands of homeowners are now damaged because of the money for a Northern Nevada office, more investigators, for consumer complaints, and all those things that office is so in desperate need of.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Well, it's an interesting thing because, realtors really do care about our industry and about making sure our industry is here to practice for years to come. And we were actually trying to work to make all realtors better by being able to have the funding. So it's ironic that the state leaders didn't want that to happen, or one individual at least. Let's talk about the home rule for...
Just that thunking you heard in the background was Teresa McKee, our CEO, falling over in her chair when she listened to that, and our lobbying team scrambling for repairs. So good luck, guys.
How true that statement is. And they thought it was going to be me making all those.
You're welcome, Teresa. You're welcome.
Let's talk about SB 371, the home rule for affordable housing. Another example of a bill that has a great name, but it actually is the rent control bill. And so It looks like that bill has moved out of one house and it's moving now to the other. Tell us some of the changes that you guys were able to make on the rent control bill that makes it a little bit more palatable the way it sits.
It's not palatable.
Well, I know that, but you had to do something.
End of story. I mean, we haven't been able to move the needle much on this one as it made it through the Senate. But I do have to make a shout out to Senator Skip Daly and the Senate Republicans that all voted against it on the floor. Not enough, right? And, elections have consequences, and this is one bill that's made it across, and we will be working on it and watching it very closely. It's not a good idea to have everybody have their own different rules when it comes to this kind of an issue of rent control.
Sure.
So hopefully we'll be able to kill it as we go forward, because that's what we try to do. We kill bad bills and prop up good ones.
You're like a superhero for politics. All right, so
That might be the
my head's big enough. Don't make it any bigger.
let's talk about the charter for City of North Las Vegas. I think this is pretty interesting. There's a bill, SB 184, that would add 2 additional wards to Henderson's city makeup, which would add 2 additional council seats. And so, what's your take on this? What are you guys thinking? Give us a little background as much as you could.
We support the governor's statement that he will veto this. We encourage that, and we will back that move up. We don't think it's a good policy decision. This is not derived out of a policy decision that North Las Vegas has made. This has been derived out of one person who will remain nameless.
Well, you've named him before, though. You named him earlier. Why stop now, Keith?
Fitz Authority has heart plaque. I don't need to break that up. Let's give Rocky one more. But no, we applaud the governor. He has publicly stated that he will veto this because of it's not a policy decision that North Las Vegas has made, and we support him on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great point. So a lot of bills that are being moved in and out that you guys have dealt with, probably around 450 now that you've probably, gone through and looked at, and the 900 that you're tracking. I want to really give a big shout out to this Realtor Champion this week, and that's Senator Scott Hammond.
Yep.
Known Senator Hammond for a long time. I actually supported him when he ran for federal office. I think he's been a great realtor friend for many, many, many years. And I even know that he's done office visits to some of our brokerage locations for different brokers in the Valley. He has gone out of his way many times to ask for realtor support. I remember when he was working, for private and public school vouchers that were going on and those items. So just amazing, 27 bills that he's been the sponsor of so far. How do you keep all these bills together? Do you have like a bill wallet or
something like that? Yeah, but and we maybe a moment of silence because one of his bills did die, and that was the tree trimming bill, a very important one to some people.
Well,
it did
with 27 bills, you do have to take a little off the top, right?
Only to those that have trees. But yes, Senator Hammond's been a big supporter of our realtors, and actually the sponsor of our independent our self-funding bill that died by the actions of one senator. That unfortunately, I'll leave it alone. But he was our sponsor of that one.
I can't wait when we end the session and finally have a wrap up where we can tell some good tales and be a little tell all, hopefully.
I always thought it should be like baseball cards, like you have a session and then you have like cards from the session and it tells like the results and things that happen. I mean, that would be kind of fun. And then you go around and you get legislators to sign their baseball card. I'm going to patent that next year, folks. Next year.
But so let's just remember now again. So the session essentially starts over, right? So some bills that made it over to the different house may not come out of the drawer to be even pushed on the floor. So some
house drawer floor. You got that from your coloring book, didn't you?
Yes. So hopefully some things won't see the light of day in the other house. And again, also there are egos at play. Right, someone's bill may not have gotten heard over on the other house, and they're on the other house that were pushing it, so they may withhold things. So this is where it gets good, folks. The what happens in the background is very enlightening and fast and furious. So we hope to see how it all works out.
So would you say we're putting a little spice in the soup?
Well, actually, some spices were put in and then taken out. But we're good to go.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. We're drowning in metaphors here, and it's not soup yet. And we appreciate your time. Hopefully, you're checking out The Advocate to find out what's going on. And thank these two guys for their hard work and dedication to the industry and all the stuff they're doing. And remember, tune in every.
Yeah, send in your comments, good and bad. Let us know. And, what any questions you might have, send us. Communicate with us, people.
Yeah, I mean, I was called an elitist just yesterday.
I'm going to tell you something. I've tried to wrap this show up every week, like on a perfect wrap. I get it all together. I get it in my head, and not one time has one of you let it go by without interrupting it. Both of you should be running for public office because you can't let it go, right? Yeah. Folks, you've heard it here first. It's not soup yet.
One of these times you'll get it right.
See y'all next week.